Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Waiter to Winners. We have a look at the Hollywoodbet Scottsville race meeting out in Pietermaritzburg. There are 8 races, and Bipot does start early, naturally, with race number 1. That information will be up on the Twitter account, where you can go to @WaiterToWin and follow us there, or on WhatsApp, as per the number that's on your screen. Darren Burrows and Daryl Murray join me, and we'll chat about it, starting with Darren. I mean, this favourite Warrior of Royalty priced up at 22-10. Very good debut, Darren.
I think he'll win, Clyde. Obviously, we have to follow the market closely with regards to the first-timers, but there was big support from 14-1 into 7-2 on debut. He actually looked like he was going to get up, and then Cliffhanger came back at him. With that run under the belt, he'll take a power beating.
Okay, so Warrior of Royalty, big for Darren Burrows. Daryl Murray?
Yes, Clyde, it always helps having the experience of one run. Just got the edge over the first-timers. But, you know, there were very positive comments pre-race. He was expected to run a cracker, that he did. I just thought he travelled very hard in the early stages, so I'm surprised he finished the race off like he did. If he settles, I think he could go one better. We don't know with regards to the first-timers early on, Clyde, but take note, there is a comment for number 2, Winter Games.
Yes.
Very nice colt. Now, he's related to Fun Zone. He's a half-brother to Fun Zone. She's a well above average filly.
Yeah.
And you know, you touched on that stable with regards to juveniles. They're deadly.
Yeah.
So I've opted to put both of them in the Bipot.
And Keegan DeMello's taken the ride on Miller again. It wasn't a bad... I mean, she's got Cliffhanger, obviously, in the...
Yeah, he's held by the favourite, Warrior of Royalty, but you know, he could certainly improve.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, it's a Bipot, so let's go to Bipots now. Let's put them up, and you guys can have a look. You know that the favourite is quite strong. Daryl Murray going both 2 and 12 by 4 and 6. Banker 1, then 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, then 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 1, 2, and 6. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the second race. Now, going over 1,200 metres, 15-10, about super fast for Tony Riverland here, and Keegan DeMello. They appear to be the right one, Darren.
Yes, 2-horse race for me, Clyde. Now, super fast. I've labelled him on 2 occasions, and he's been scratched twice in the last 4 weeks. He's been scratched, so I'm not too sure what the reason was. He's got form. He will appreciate the step up in trip. But there is a horse called Reach for the Stars that ran 4th 2 lengths off Buster Keaton. We've seen 4 direct winners from that form line. So I think that form line's strong enough to feature strongly in this lineup. 4 and 6 in no particular order.
Well, that form line is exceptionally strong. I'm just having a look over here. Or what's that? Roy's July Magic, Captain Rocket, Unsolved Riddle. And there was one other, McCartney.
and the 6th place runner came out indirectly. Who was the 6th place?
Sure. So should we be back in this also, what?
Clyde, you know...
Reach for the Stars.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of scope for improvement. It was a nice debut. I watched it. It was around the bend. He was green. He was doing his best work late. Plenty scope for improvement. I definitely believe he brings a stronger form than what the favourite does into this contest.
So the market's bound to reverse, right? Tough. Well, Keegan DeMello, it's hard to put him...
Punters back Keegan DeMello.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you don't blame them.
Because of their strike rate.
Yeah.
Clyde, this was interesting over here. Now, have a look at Ben in the area, and this was, what's it, Abadar. Adabar.
7 and 10, yes.
Ran behind Lazy Guy. This favourite was meant to run in that exact race. He was scratched, not eating up. He was strongly ridden on that occasion, and he was doing his best work late. The form line suspect, 4 runners, all 4 unplaced. On form, you have to favour the 4, Reach for the Stars.
Yeah, I'll be with you. I'm a form line person. 4 direct winners. It's hard to beat those kind of form lines. Let's see. Right, what's the plan from the gents here? This is what they're putting up for you. They're going both 4 and 6, which I think is fair, by Banker 1, by 1 and 6, by 1, 3, 5, 7, by 1, 2, 6, Banker 6, and 2, 5, 7, 8, and 10. Well, Darren didn't tip a pick 6 yesterday. I'm hoping he's tipped one for this pick 6. Darren, have you tipped a pick 6?
Yes, I've tipped a pick 6. Hopefully we can crack it. It has been a few weeks since we caught a decent one. But starting in the first leg, I do believe that La Dreamer and Pixie in Love is enough to see us through. Now, La Dreamer in form since moving to the Timothy Pretoria stable. Hopefully, he can have his first winner as a licensed trainer. Pixie in Love, since being stepped up in trip, good second to twice as perfect, will rate the biggest danger.
All right, and Luck of the Iris came out of there in one, so that's not too bad. What do you make of it, Daryl Marie?
Yeah, Clyde, have a look at that. Luck of the Irish
Yep.
was 6 lengths behind Pixie in Love last week.
Yes, I see that.
Who beat La Dreamer?
Who beat it?
Luck of the Iris.
Like, yeah, correct. So that puts that into
So if
perspective.
you're using Luck of the Iris as a line horse, Pixie in Love will take a power beating. Clyde, I looked at this race. I said, these are all suspect form lines. I'm going to find some value over here. I spent a good few minutes on this race, and everything pointed towards Pixie in Love being the right way.
Okay, good.
Even the penultimate start on the polytrack, Clyde. Mission Rocks, one from there. Little Lady, one from there. 2 seconds as well from there. So I think she proved in her later start that she does get the trip. That was in open company. That winner improved with the blinkers. I'm going to say she's the right horse, and I
Okay.
expect her to win.
So you'll rubber stamp this Pick 6 first leg?
I'm having a wager.
Oh, okay. You're having a price. Pixie in Love. Daryl Marie's having a wager priced up 2-1 at the moment. Darren Burrows has put the Pick 6, just the two of them. So he's going first leg 1 and 6, then horses by a few horses, by field. Then he's bankering the 6 later on. That's the second last leg today. Hoping, of course, that African Skyline pulls it off for the Garth Puller stable. And that'll be a 270 Rand, 10% perm. Jackpot time now. It's a handicap. We're at fillies and mares. This is a 63 level. So based on that headline, you would normally expect to go as many horses as possible. Let's go to Darren Burrows to give us an idea as to what he likes. Yeah, it's jackpot time. Daryl, what you planning on doing?
I would go 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. I do believe that'll get us through. Now, a horse like Sleek as Silk won a really good race last time out, beating Chelsea Flower, and she gets 1.5 kilos off her back. You got a horse like Leopard Lady, second to Bay Breeze, staying on nicely at the finish. She should run well. Sea Goddess is a runner on that last effort. Catalea Summer and Charles Seeker. So 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8 should be enough.
Okay, the leopard lady's least been franked by that horse Dance, my lord. What do you like, Daryl?
Yeah, Clyde, and that filly who beat her, I thought she was very unlucky midweek at Greyville. She beaten by the pace. Q for You was given a peach of a ride.
Yeah.
In Darren's camp of here, I've only gone 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. Preference for the 6 of here, Clyde. I watched that replay because I wanted to know why, if she won her later start over the same course and distance, why would they remove the blinkers? And she was
what did
pulling
you
terribly.
observe?
So for her to have pulled in the event and still manage to find extra, I was convinced she could go back to back, despite the 1.5 kilogram penalty. But like Darren touched on, the apprentice takes off that 1.5. So I'm going to say Sleek as Silk, the one to beat ahead of Sea Goddess, cracks a draw this time round. She improved in her later start. And the 2 Catalea Summer, take note, that stable in KZN have turned. So 6, 1, and 2 in that order.
And Catalea is a decent price. It's like 10-1. But Malasedi Kachedi could ride this for laugh, get it home. This horse Sleek as Silk, number 6 on the card. Let's work out what we're doing in jackpots. This is what we're doing. Darren going 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 5, 7 by field. And at the back, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Hopefully we can double some of that or perhaps treble some of that outlay. This is 1750 meters on the turf inside at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. Reminder about our Twitter at Waited to Win or our WhatsApp number. Please make a note of that and join and be part of the whole story here. We'd love to be here from you. And well, Desert Rose is the number 1 horse on the card over here and is also the favourite, priced up at 28-10. Obviously, jumps from a good draw. 6 family favourite, second choice at 11-2, and number 4 Mel's Princess is 6-1. Just how far do we have to dig to find the winner, or have we already found it, Darren?
Desert Rose, the horse to beat, Clyde. She came to Cape Town and she did really well done here. She went start to finish in a penultimate start over a mile. Let's just see how the 1750 goes for her. She has tried further than a mile and she hasn't done too well in the past. But I do get the impression now that she's an older filly, she'll see it out. The biggest danger will be Chelsea Flower. Now, this filly was very unlucky not to win last time out, and she's got a very handy galloping weight of 52.5. So she receives 6.5 kilos from Desert Rose. So 1 and 5 for the shortlist, and Ice Sensation, my third choice.
Okay, thanks for that. Well, if Sleek as Silk has won the previous race, I think Chelsea Flower obviously got to have a massive chance. But your take on it?
Yeah, if she wins, I'll be, sick.
Wow.
I needed her to win last time out.
You did.
Another stride, and she would have got there. But
I know.
what can
All
we
right,
do?
so what are you
racing.
doing here?
That's
Horses.
racing, Claude.
Racing. That's why we come back every day, right?
I'm happy that Desert Rose is stepping up in trip. I thought she was beaten by the 1400 last time out. Lots in her favour, and she's an improving filly now. We've always known that she's got the ability. Cape Town Beauty, very, very consistent, Clyde. Even over the extended trip, she never disgraces herself. Chelsea Flower, just on a later start, has to go in. And then our sensation, number 7. When this filly gets to the front, Clyde, she's very, very effective. I'm sure she's going to push forward from that wide draw. You know, have a look at this, Clyde. She was well clear of the balance of the field last time out. I think 6 lengths clear of a filly called Feeling Groovy, who's come out in 1.
Yeah.
So, although she picked up a 2-kilogram penalty, I think it's worth that effort. So, 1, 3, 5, and 7, not in no particular order.
Yeah, and there weren't too many runners from there. I mean, just Feeling Groovy, really, and that's the only one that's come and won. I don't know. I just think Desert Rose is going to be too good for them here. Let's have a look at what the boys are going to do here in this race. This is what they're going. Darryl's going 1, 3, 5, 7 by 1, 2, 6 by 2, 6, 8 by field. They're betting race 6 on the card now. Let's have a look at this as a handicap, but it's over the 1,200 metres, so they'll be up the straight. I can tell you that Northern Warrior for Michael Roberts and Rachel Venniker topped the boards at 22-10. I mean, we saw a brilliant riding display from Rachel on Guinea's Day on 2 occasions. And the other day at Greyville, we saw, those horses are hanging underneath and, putting the changing whips. It's not easy. It's a tough career. It's a tough profession.
Yeah, we as what cut shock, he's loved to.
That's exactly where I'm going, because I have heard a lot of comments about it. But you forget about one, what great rides there were, and you keep
we
that.
speak from our pockets. What are we supposed to do?
We kind of speak about what happened yesterday. That's you don't remember.
Same with tipping, Clyde. Whatever I tipped yesterday is no good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
8
anymore.
winners, it doesn't really matter. It's about today. So. Geronimo interests me over here. I think Cabello now gets a right, Clyde.
Yes,
but
he does.
have a look. His latest 2 starts were on the polytrack. 3 runs back over this course and distance. Ran 3rd behind Quest for the best. He's come out and won twice since then. But have a look, Clyde. He gave him 9 kilograms on that occasion.
Yeah.
So I think he's a player over here. Joshua Hotsnake, he's got a tendency of over-racing. If he can possibly get some cover early, we know he's capable of putting in a strong finishing effort. And then Northern Warrior with Rachel, disappointing in his later start. But just go back to his penultimate start. That form line has worked out well. Quest for the best, Tribute to You, Al Dante, all won from there. And he goes well over this track and trip.
What do you make of Keegan DeMiller retaining the ride on Lucky Dollar?
Yeah.
Any price?
Yeah.
Got to be respected.
Handicap debut, Clyde. So let's see how he goes.
Yeah, okay. Darren Burrows, help us here.
Clyde, I thought a very tricky race. This is the race I played the field in the pick 6. Recent maiden winners I wouldn't ignore. Buster Keaton, we saw that form line. I think as much as 5 winners from that form line. I know he's just won a maiden, but he won in style. McCartney, he finally got it right at the 8th time of asking. I wouldn't ignore his chances here. Northern Warriors alive. Geronimo's alive all the time. Joshua Hotsnake. We could get a big result here.
It's quite possible, and Daryl Marie's worked out 1, 2, 6. Darren finds it open, but Daryl Marie's into the 1, 2, and 6 in this race. The sources that you like, African Skyline, seems to enjoy Hollywood Bets Scottsville. Doesn't mind Maritzburg at all, Darren.
This horse, I've banked this in my pick 6. In my jackpot, I put all of numbers 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Now, African Skyline's in form, and his rating's starting to go up, but he still stays competitive. Second behind Captain Fontaine last time out, beaten a short head. Now, Captain Fontaine's loaded with ability, and a repeat of that sort of run could see him in the winner's box. I make him very hard to beat in this lineup. Dangers, Sashay Away, Bowie, Back to Black, and Hawker Typhoon. But hopefully African Skyline can get it right for our pick 6.
If you look past African Skyline, it could be anything.
Yeah, Clyde, you know, we've always said that the Scottsville Straight is a tricky race. You get specialists, and he's definitely a specialist. He does extremely well over here. Back in a handicap, Clyde, he's going to run a bold race. That was a cracking effort last time out, because we all know that Winner's loaded with ability. I like a little bit of the stable companion, and she is a 5-year-old mare. That's Walker Typhoon. I think up the Scottsville Straight, she's at her best. So I'm expecting her to bounce back to her best. I thought the mile in the soft was a step too far, or just too testing for her last time out. So watch her. I'm hoping she can run into the money, even give her stable companion something to think about. And then number 2 will be a Passage of Power. I think he's met African Skyline in the past. He's actually beaten him. I see they've opted to take blinkers off him. And he is a bit of a track and trip specialist himself.
So what's your first choice, Mr. Marie?
682.
682 from Daryl. Let's put up our selections now. This is the penultimate of the afternoon. This is the play, and this Darren Burrows, best bet on the card, African Skyline. We need this to win for the pick 6. All right, the 8th and final, it's the Hollywood Bets Bright Future. Very good news announced from Hollywood Bets. They're boosting their season by 10 million rand more in stakes. So well done to them. This is a handicap at the 67 level, so you've got to watch out. There's lots of those that have been around, and time again. It's at 1,200, and perhaps Darren Burrows has worked out a double-figured horse or a Shruti that he may have found. If we need to find something like that, Darren, what's your first choice?
Well, Clyde, touching on my exotics, I played the field in the pick 6. Short list of horses, well, not really a short list, but all of 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 have chances. But my first choice could be Palm Breeze, number 8. First time out over course and distance, she beat Asia Pambili, and then stepped up to a mile, 1,400, 1,500, disappointed. She's back to the same course and distance she won her debut over, and her rating is 9 points lower.
Okay. Well, she's lightly raced. She's only had 4 starts, so she could show improvement. And she's a nice price. She's 14 to 1.
My first pick too.
Also,
yes.
Well played. Okay.
And Darren's such
based on the same reason.
Course and distance run, Clyde. I see Pambili is a well above average filly.
Yeah.
She could be best up the straights at this stage of her career. I mean, she's a lightly raced filly. The blinkers come off, ratings come down, so she's the value in the race.
All right.
Clyde, this horse number 5, Meredith Grey, she always catches my eye in the Kent Pass. She's a lovely looking filly.
Yeah.
Last time out, 1,500 on a soft track. Maybe a bit too testing for her. Given a chance, filly, this filly, Clyde, can certainly be doing her best work late. So I like the fact that she's coming back in trip, get run off her feet, and flying at the death. So 8 from 5, but the race certainly doesn't stop there.
Oh, they're both outsiders. How's Teeny Prinsloo doing there?
Knocking. He's knocking.
Knocking. All right, well, that's a good answer. Let's knock on and into the last race. Now we go. This is the plan from the boys. They've got 2, 5, 7, 8, 10, but they've both found the Shruti in here. 8 Palm Breeze on Friday was 14 to 1 and 4 to 1 a place.